Today we're going to look at the difference between academic and content vocabulary, and then how to identify academic vocabulary in your own content area using a web tool called WordSift. Our goal today is that you will create an academic vocabulary list specific to the content that you teach. But first, a little background on the different types of vocabulary. Vocabulary can be classified into three tiers, and this is all adapted from the work of Isabel Beck. Tier 1 words generally consist of frequently used common words. They can also be expressions for which concepts are easily understood, like look or walk. Very simple nouns like butterfly, clock, bed. These words generally do not require intense academic instruction unless you're teaching very early English language learners. You see some more examples on the slide to the left. Tier 2 words, on the other hand, are known as high-frequency academic words. These words are used across content areas. These words tend to be more abstract, such as setting, plot, combine, coincidence. You see more examples in the middle of this slide. Tier 2 words are important for comprehension and making connections between ideas. That's why Tier 2 words are often called mortar words, because they hold ideas together, just like mortar holds bricks together. Tier 2 words are also known as academic vocabulary. So throughout this tutorial, you'll see the words Tier 2 and academic vocabulary. Those two terms will be used interchangeably. Tier 3 words are low frequency words. They tend to be limited to specific content areas. So in a science classroom, you might see Tier 3 words such as tundra, peninsula, or photosynthesis. You see on the slide to the far right some examples of Tier 3 words that you would encounter in a social studies setting. So Tier 3 words are also referred to as content vocabulary. So you'll see Tier 3 and the term content vocabulary. Those two terms will be used interchangeably as well. So Tier 2 is academic and Tier 3 is content. We're going to be focusing today on academic language for a few reasons. The first reason is that we're already really good at identifying those Tier 3 content vocabulary words and implementing strategies to teach them. We're content experts, and our knowledge and experience as educators really already enables us to identify which content vocabulary is a high priority for direct vocabulary instruction. On the other hand, this can get a little more difficult with those Tier 2 academic vocabulary words because those words can be harder to identify. They're not bold in the textbook or posted in the glossary of the textbook, and it can be a challenge being strategic in identifying which words are the highest priority for us to teach. The second reason that academic vocabulary needs special attention is because research shows us that low academic language skills have been shown to be associated with low academic performance. The main barrier to student comprehension of texts and lectures is consistently low academic vocabulary knowledge. Remember that we call content vocab the bricks and academic vocab the mortar? Imagine how unstable your foundation is going to be if you have nothing but bricks and no mortar holding them together. Think of academic vocabulary as sub-technical vocabulary. In other words, it's not the technical vocabulary of a particular academic discipline. Academic vocabulary is used across all academic disciplines to teach about the content of the discipline, again, holding those ideas together. It makes sense when you think of it this way. Before taking chemistry, students do not know the technical words used in chemistry. But the underprepared student also doesn't know the vocabulary used to teach the chemistry concepts. Underprepared students are underfamiliar with more than just the technical words. Now that we've established the difference between academic and content vocabulary, let's pause for a quick check for understanding on the differences between the two. Which of the following is true about Tier 2 words? Tier 2 words are content specific. Tier 2 words connect ideas together. Teaching Tier 2 words to students is the sole responsibility of English language arts teachers. Go ahead and click on the response that you believe is true about Tier 2 words, and let's see how you do. Okay, so now that we're clear on how academic vocabulary is different from content vocabulary, how do we find the mortar words that are prevalent and important to your particular content? So we're going to identify academic vocabulary specific to the courses that you teach. We're going to use a web tool called WordSift to do that. WordSift has a couple of features that make it really helpful in vocabulary instruction. First, it allows you to copy and paste any text into the tool, into this text box right here, and then it sifts the text for either academic or content vocabulary. The second thing it does is that when it sifts the text, it creates a word cloud from the text displaying words by their frequency. So the higher frequency the word is, the larger the word will appear in the word cloud. This is really helpful because we need to be strategic in our vocabulary instruction. This directs the most attention to high frequency words. So here's how it works. I'm going to go to wordsift.com, and you'll see up here I've already typed that into my browser, and it'll pull up a screen like this. WordSift is free. Those are the best kind of tools, the free tools. And I am going to paste a piece of text into this. I can paste up to 65,000 characters into this box, so you've got a lot of freedom to paste really massive pieces of text. For this demo, I'm going to use a sample text, and I'm going to select the Darwin and Evolution text. I'm going to paste my text in and click Sift. It does take a few seconds to process, as you can see in real time. There's nothing wrong with it if it does spin for a moment. You'll see that this has produced my word cloud and that different words are in different sizes of font. So like I mentioned, the bigger the font, the higher frequency the word. The way that WordSift does this is that it compares your text against Avril Coxhead's list of 150 high frequency words, so you don't have to look through 150 high frequency words. The larger words are my high frequency words, and the smaller words are going to be lower frequency. The second step that I need, now that I've identified high frequency and low frequency words, I want to know which of these words are academic vocabulary, not content specific vocabulary. So down here under Mark, I'm going to click AWL, and that stands for Academic Word List. And it'll take a moment to process again, but you'll see that some of the words changed color. Depending on your monitor, this might look orange or red, but the orange or red words are academic vocabulary. These are the Tier 2 words that span across content areas that are high frequency words that it's important to teach across content areas. So that is how WordSift works to create a word list of high frequency academic words specific to your content and the texts that your students access in your class. So now it's your turn to practice with WordSift. Feel free to pause after each step in this tutorial as you create your own word list using WordSift. The first thing you're going to do is select any piece of text that you want to use, with the one caveat being that it has to be a digital piece of text because you're going to have to copy and paste it into the text box. Once you have identified the piece of text that you'd like to sift to create the word list, you're going to go to wordsift.com and you're going to paste your text into this box. Step 2, you'll click Sift. And you'll allow it to create your word cloud. Your word cloud should look something like this. Third, you will then select AWL from the menu beneath the word cloud to create your list of high frequency words for your content area. The reddish orange words are the high frequency Tier 2 academic vocabulary for that particular piece of text and your unique content area. And it's that simple.